Hello, welcome to Switched On, and today we're going to be talking about Starlink, the Battle for Atlas on the Nintendo Switch. This game came out on the eShop this week and also in stores, and comes with some Toys to Life figures in the physical version that you can buy in the shops. Now, I've played this for 4 or 5 hours this week already, and I just thought I'd give you my early thoughts. So let's get into it. Let's address the elephant, or rather the fox in the room. The Nintendo Switch version has, as you probably all know by now, exclusive use of Fox McCloud and the Star Fox characters. And spoiler alert, this game is basically the next entry in the Star Fox series in all but name. You can see here there's other characters that you can use in the game, and you can swap between these at any time, but you can also play through the whole game as Fox McCloud, and he's not just some sort of side add-on content. He's fully integrated into the story, and you can play pretty much the whole 20 hours as just Star Fox and using the R-Wing spaceship. So yeah, as I said at the start, I got this pretty much as soon as it came out. It wasn't a game that was on my radar at all, really. When I saw it at E3, didn't really like the look of it, and then the Toys to Life thing's not really my bag at all, so really didn't look too much more into it. And then of course, as the release date got closer and the hype grew, I get sucked in, and then the big review scores started hitting. It's reviewed really well, so it was one that I really wanted to pick up and talk about. I'm glad I did, really. It's been one of those games that takes you by surprise. Wasn't really expecting much at all, wasn't really expecting to like it that much, and to be honest, didn't really know what to expect fully, because I just steered away from it for the last couple of months, and really enjoying it a lot. I mean, you can see here, we're just going to show off the, well, it's basically two halves this game. There's like a space combat sort of game, and that's what this is here. So you can fly around space, land on any of the planets that you can see, very much like No Man's Sky. You just sort of head toward the planet, and then you can enter its atmosphere and then land straight on it. There's no loading as such. Sort of all the loading screens are done behind the scenes and disguised as a little mini game. When you're flying to a new planet, you sort of enter this mini game where you've got to fly through warp holes. If you miss one, then you have to take on a fleet of space pirates, essentially, and then you carry on your journey. So I think there's lots of loading screens hidden behind that, but that's really fine. It just feels like there's no loading, just feels like one massive open universe, and it's really well done. And as you see here, the graphics are, I think they're excellent. Obviously not going to be quite as shiny as what they are on the PlayStation and Xbox versions, but I think the fact, again, portability on the Switch and the Star Fox content, I think makes this the definitive version of the game, really. And it's just so smooth. You see here, very smooth movement. Probably won't come across quite as good as it actually is in motion when you see it on the YouTube video here, but yeah, it's very smooth, very responsive as well. And you can see, finish that intro part and little cutscene, and then we're on to the second part of the game, really. This is when you land on a planet, and you may recognise this part from No Man's Sky as well, very much influenced by No Man's Sky. So you fly around these uniquely looking planets, lots of different wildlife and fauna, and you can scan wildlife and take on missions, and there's no end of missions, really. You fly to different hubs and refineries and outposts, meet all different sorts of characters, and they give you missions, whether it's simple fetch quests, or you have to clear an area out of baddies that are stopping people from getting where they need to get to or doing what they need to do. So it's just basic missions, grinding for XP basically, and you can upgrade your ship, you can upgrade your pilot. And just going to have a look here at one of the sort of USPs of the game, and that's this modular idea where you can clip on different weapons onto your ship, or different weapons, different wings, different accessories. Now if you get the physical game, the little spaceships sit on front of your controller and you can snap on and off different wings and weapons, and it's all a bit of a money grab really, but really pleased to say I got the digital version, and I didn't even get the deluxe version where you get all the ships and all the guns and all the pilots with that. But the version I got was sort of the mid-tier version, and you get plenty of content. I would never need to pay any extra for any more content. And as I said, if you got the Switch, you're probably going to want to play the whole game through the Star Fox characters anyway. So here you swapping out weapons to take on different sorts of enemies. They're susceptible to different elements, so you may have a sort of heat-based weapon that they're weak against, so you could swap in a heat cannon, or if they're susceptible to ice attacks, you can add on an ice gun or a kinetic gun or just a normal sort of rail gun or missiles. There's lots to choose from. One thing I will say is it's a little bit clunky in the digital version, having to go into a pause menu and load up your ship and then swap parts out in the menu. Certainly wouldn't feel as good as having the physical ship in front of you and snapping the wings on and off, but it's a small niggle, and thankfully there aren't many more, not that I can think of anyway, not so far. Spent a lot of time on the first planet and was beginning to get aware that I was just getting sucked into doing side missions and all these little collectibles and secrets, all that kind of thing, so really decided to crack on with the story, and maybe I'll do an updated video when I can get through the story. But yeah, if you're looking for a game that you can harvest plenty of time in, then this is certainly one to look at. Typical sort of Ubisoft stuff where you're travelling around trying to unlock areas of the map, and then when you unlock areas of the map it unlocks more missions. Just a cycle that takes you on and further into the game world. Really cleverly done. Really like that style of game. Some people not too keen on it, think it's a bit grindy, but I don't mind. It always gives you something to do. You're never in the game for long without something to do. If you do get bored of doing one activity, then you can just take on a side mission, or just flew past some weird creatures there. You can go and find some creatures to scan, or if you get really bored, just point your spaceship to the sky and take off and fly somewhere else, and you can basically fly anywhere in the game. The areas are graded in difficulty, but there's nothing to stop you literally taking off from the first planet, flying to the hardest planet and getting squashed in seconds. But the fact is that you can do that if you want. So yeah, in summary, I mean, as I say, I've played most of the game as Star Fox, Fox McCloud from Star Fox. I don't see too many reasons to swap at the minute, and as I said right at the start, it just feels like the next Star Fox game. You've got the incidental music, you've got the voices, you've got all the different characters. So if you're a fan of Star Fox, absolutely pick this up, because who knows when the next Star Fox game's coming, but this is basically it. Or if you just like sort of big space adventures, if you like No Man's Sky, if you like stuff like Elite Dangerous, just highly recommend this so far. I know I've only played a small part of the larger game, but it started off with a great first impression, and to be honest, it's one of those games that I haven't stopped thinking about since I started playing it. So when I'm at work, I want to be playing it. Yeah, so I think it's going to be taking up a lot of my time. Okay, hope you enjoyed that quick look at Starlink, and if you do pick it up, then let me know in the comments below what you think, or if you've got any questions, just let me know. Please consider subscribing to the channel. We're going to be making lots of Nintendo Switch content over the coming months, and I will check you out next time. See you later.